Hi, welcome back. It's Dawn with Southern Instructional Solutions. We have done so far 3 videos on syllable division practice. The first video was setting up the notebook. The second video was decoding in the notebook. The third video was decoding on the whiteboard. So we are moving on to encoding now. So today we're going to encode in the notebook on the syllable division page. So if you missed the first 3, feel free to go back and look at those. But today we're on the 4th video in the series. So I use the Syllable Division book by IMSE as my Bible for this. And just basically a basic composition notebook that we've been working in for these lessons. And the whiteboard that I used before on previous lessons was this one. So let me move on to the encoding, or the writing or spelling of these words, which is very important to move from decoding to encoding. Encoding is that hardest level of phonics application that you can get to. You'll see if they truly understand and can hear those sounds and apply those sounds and that knowledge. Which is going to be very important for them to, when it comes to writing those sentences, paragraphs, and essays later on, they have a very hard time with. So let me share my screen and get to my notebook. So what you see here is from basically the second video where we did some encoding practice. So now we're going to move on to decoding. If you took the IMSE training, I did it like quite a while ago, a couple years ago. It might not look exactly the way they did it, but this is the way I do it. It works really well for my students. And then there might be other scaffolds depending on the severity of your students that you might need to use, like a finger tapping card that they also taught me, that you might need to apply if you have students who aren't hearing these sounds. But mostly I'm working with students to listen to the syllable and then listening to the sounds within the syllable. So let's go to the next word on my list from where I left off from the last video, which is going to be can. So if you had your students don't have a finger tapping card, it looks like this. And I basically have them make it. So if they're right-handed, they need to use their left hand. If they're left-handed, they use their right hand. So the way I do this is I use just a blank piece of copy paper and I fold it in half. Here, I'll just use this one and remake it with you. Fold it in half. And then I have them, I'm right-handed, so I'm putting my left hand on it. And then you trace your hand. I use pencil first. Trace your hand on it. And then once I have them show it to me and make sure that they're happy with it, and then make sure they didn't do anything, odd that I wasn't expecting. You just never know what students might do. And then I have them take the blue highlighter. I don't ask them what color they want to use because I need to use certain colors for certain things for this activity. So I take the blue and we trace around it so it's nice and bold. And then from there, then the pinky finger, you always start tapping. When it's your left hand, you tap with your pinky finger. When it's your right hand, you're going to tap with your thumb. So it goes pinky, ring, and then middle finger. You always tap with those 3 fingers. When it's your right hand, it's your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger. So it goes in that order. So then my pinky finger is going to get my green highlighter first. So if you're right-handed, your thumb is going to get green. And then get the yellow highlighter, because yellow, it does follow the order of the traffic light. I'm very color coded that way. So now we're going to slow down and listen to the middle. So green is where we listen to the beginning of the word. In the middle, now yellow. So that's the second tap. And if you want to put a little 1 and a 2 up above those, you can. And then with your right hand, so green is the thumb, yellow is the pointer finger. So that's going to be your second tap whenever we use this. And then go to the pink highlighter. let's see, where is my pink? Why do I not see a pink? Oh, here's my pink highlighter. So my third tap would be the middle finger here, which also in your right hand, it would also be your middle finger. Okay. So your first tap, your second tap, your third tap, you might not know what I'm talking about just yet, but you'll see it in action in a few minutes. And then back with the blue again, I guess I could have done this the first time, but basically we're going to pound here in the middle. So this is where we're going to pound here. We're going to tap our fingers here. So this is our finger tapping, finger pounding kind of card. So we pound the syllables and we tap out the sounds. So some students need this to help them actually like hear those sounds as like a manipulative in a way. And then you could have them write their name on it. If you wanted, now this is where you could have them, you know, choose their color if you wanted to, but especially in the classroom setting, you need to have their name on it because, you know, they drop these things all over the place. So anyway, so the way we use this, so our word is, what are we on? We're on can. So you need to pound. We're going to pound right here in the middle. We're going to pound how many syllables are in can. So it'd be can. So it's 2 syllables. So we're going to go over here and we're going to write 2 syllable lines. Can. So now we're going to listen to the first syllable. Can. Can. So first sound is k. And so some students might need to go sound by sound. You could put it underneath this way and then write that way. That might be the best thing to do. So it's on the left and then they're writing on the right, or if they write with their left hand, kind of reverse it so that they have both going on at the same time. So can, next sound, can, k, and can. So the word is can. Now let's rewrite it, put it together. C-A-N. So the word is can. So what's the can? So those are those ladies who like maybe like would be in New York on stage or any of those shows that are kicking their legs up high or it's a kind of dance, I guess. And like you might want to look up some of these words on your phone and show them pictures, and then they kind of have their little aha moments with them. So here I draw, like you might draw a couple of them doing the can with their little flouncy little skirts, and then they're kind of whatever. So then I just give them a little idea, but I often will show them a picture on my phone and then show it to them. So we have the can dancers. Next word is, let me look on my list. Okay. Is going to be sunlit. How many syllables? Sunlit. And then have them pounded out. Sunlit. 2 syllables, 2 syllable lines. First syllable, sun. On. Next syllable, lit. Sunlit. Let's rewrite it, put it together. Sunlit. So when something is sunlit, that means it lit up something. So that could be like a lake. Maybe a lake was lit up by the sun. Maybe a room, like a window lit up a room from the sunshine. So it could be all kinds of things, whatever was lit up by the sun. So every now and then I like to throw in a little bit of color. So here, this is letting them know that's the lake. So the sun shone on the lake. There you go. Sunlit. There you go. Okay, sunlit. Next one is upshot. How many syllables? 2 syllables. Upshot. Ready? Up. Next one, shot. Little tricky. What says sh? S-H, upshot, upshot. Rewrite it, upshot, upshot. So upshot is like, could be like the ending, if I remember correctly, if you think of like a story or the ending of an event or something like that. Hopefully I'm right. You might have to look it up. But so if this is like a plot line or a timeline to like a story, so it's like the end of it. Let me look that up on my phone. Pretty sure that's right. I've done this one a few times now. And so sometimes I'll be looking it up right before I'm doing it with the students or as I'm doing it with the students. So upshot defined is the final or eventual outcome or conclusion of a discussion, an action, a series of events. So there you go. So I just like look it up real quick and then you can kind of explain it. So it's like the end of that discussion. So you can put to the end and you could say it could be the end of that discussion. So you could have them talking to each other. And so it's coming to an end, whether it's in the story, whether it's a discussion, and then go about it that way. And so that's a great way to build vocabulary. So you can see the difference between the decoding process and the encoding process. And this is the syllable tapping card that we used to go along with it. So once again, I'm Dawn Pierce with Southern Instructional Solutions. The next video is going to be encoding, but using the whiteboard. So you'll just change it up a little bit so that if you're, you run out of room, let's say in your notebook, or you just need an alternative from the notebook because there's a lot of words on your list, then you can just use the whiteboard. And or maybe your students don't have notebooks and you want to suddenly jump in and start using these ideas and teaching your students this. So that would be how you could go about it. So join me on the next video. See you then.